Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review. More specifically, another WrestleMania review. We are once again delving into the realm of WrestleMania 22. Now, I had done so last week, of course, when I reviewed Mickie James vs. Trish Stratus at WrestleMania 22. If you haven't already, go check out that review. And a couple years ago, I think like one of the first reviews I did for the channel, I reviewed, or I think, no, it was later on. It was around my birthday. It was a couple years ago in 2023, but it was around my birthday where I reviewed Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 22. So I think, not counting WrestleMania 24 because I reviewed the whole show for that, but I think WrestleMania 22 I might have pulled from the most when it comes to my reviews. I might be wrong. In fact, knowing me, I probably am, but I think I've delved into WrestleMania 22 the most when it comes to these individual reviews. But what can I say? It was big time. Big time. I deserved a big time main event, and this one I think might live up to that. Let's find out. It's the first WrestleMania main event for one of these stars. The fifth one for another one of the stars. How you could literally see me like on my face doing the math in my head, and I think math wasn't always my strongest subject, unfortunately. But nevertheless, as we kind of. So I guess you can kind of consider this coronation, but nevertheless, big times. There's a big time main event, and who better to deliver the big time main event than Big Match John? I'm talking about John Cena versus Triple H at WrestleMania 22 for the WWE Championship. Now, of course, as always, I'm not professional wrestling reviewer, analyst, or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time, and I had a pretty good time, I would say, watching this match for review. So I guess without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, right off the bat, if you see these reviews of mine before, you kind of already know how this works. If you haven't, I'm going to be telling what I like and dislike about the match. But also, credit to this match for perhaps intentionally or unintentionally, being one of the main pillars for the eventual John Cena versus CM Punk rivalry they would have several years later. Of course, was in John Cena's entrance where he fired the gun into the air, kind of like the mafia style entrance. CM Punk was the one who drove the car, and it makes sense. Technically they were in Rosemont, but it's Chicago. It's close enough. And CM Punk was one of the gangsters that came out with Cena. Like I said, I believe he was the one who drove the car. But so CM Punk was there, and they used kind of that as one of the bases for their rivalry they would have several years later, of course. And as I alluded to in the opening spiel, this is the first WrestleMania main event for John Cena. So I guess it's only fitting that in present day 2025, this is the final year, at least from what we know, for John Cena as an active competitor. And the reason I say that is because there has been kind of the speculation whether or not that will actually be the case, whether or not John Cena is lying, whether he's fibbing. He's already completed his heel turn, and he might be lying about this as well. I doubt it though, but nevertheless, yes, the first WrestleMania main event for John Cena. So how will he do his first main event outing? We will find out. But it is crazy to think the progression. John Cena going from not even making the main card for WrestleMania 19. He was going to do like the rap battle against his Fabulous, but that had unfortunately fell through. So John Cena just kind of did kind of a promo rap thing on like Sunday Night Heat. He kind of before the show, rapping to like the cardboard stand-ups of like Fabulous and Jay-Z. But going from that to just a few years later, are now main eventing, headlining WrestleMania. Of course, he competed at WrestleMania 20 in the U.S. title match against The Big Show, and then 21 was the WWE Championship match against JBL. But now John Cena is finally headlining, to mixed reception. That's also one of the main things at this time. Is at this point, this is around, maybe it was earlier, but I definitely noticed in this match, this around the point where people kind of started to turn on John Cena. There was a while before John Cena became beloved again, and where John Cena was not the most liked. They even have the "Let's Go Cena, Cena Sucks" chants, which they do surprisingly acknowledge on commentary. They don't shy away from it. They do acknowledge it on commentary, how the crowd is kind of split when it comes to John Cena, but definitely more on the side of Triple H. It's thankfully it's not at the levels that it would be later on in the year at like One Night Stand 2006, but that one kind of does make sense because that was a very pro ECW crowd, and John Cena was literally main eventing against Mr. ECW in Rob Van Dam. But yeah, so you are starting to see that John Cena that anti-Cena sentiment kind of starting to take shape a little bit in this match. Really, that's not really a pro or a con. It's kind of just something I noticed when it comes to this match. Actually, going into what I like, I think having Triple H be kind of the experienced vet at this point to work with Cena in this match, I think definitely paid dividends, and they kind of try to put over on commentary kind of like a not necessarily rich versus poor, but more so like the very posh upper class lifestyle of Triple H versus like the street lifestyle of John Cena. Although at this point Triple H obviously was long past the days of like the Connecticut Blue Blood and like Hunter Hearst Helmsley and everything, but I guess some elements were still there, especially with Triple H being heel, but they definitely played that up when it comes to that, and some of that is translated over to the match. Triple H, of course, very technical, very mat-based style, that methodical pace and everything. Meanwhile, John Cena, very scrappy. He especially with a lot of the power and everything. So having those styles come together, I think, worked well. Oh, and I think if anybody could help get John Cena to a really great match and a great main event, and it's Triple H. Triple H not always putting on the 5-star classics, but when he does and when he puts in the work, he's able to make it work. And I think these two, this combination of these two, were able to make it work. Triple H got in when he needed to get it, and obviously playing up being the heel and everything. Meanwhile, John Cena, although the crowd wasn't 100% behind him, and they do get over the story of like John Cena being very scrappy, very resourceful, using a lot of that power and everything to contend with Triple H. Of course, the game, he's the cerebral assassin. Of course, they even try to get over this nickname of Triple H, that being the Monarch of the Mat. They really try. Especially JR. Or of course, commentary is JR and Jerry the King Lawler, but JR, Jim Ross, definitely tries to get that catchphrase or that nickname over for Triple H. I don't know if they were trying it out for this match or if they were trying it out all together. I reviewed the Royal Rumble from this year as well, and to my knowledge, from what I remember, it has been a little bit since I did that review, but to my knowledge, I don't think they tried it in that match. So it might have just been a one-time thing, and sadly, it doesn't stick. Although the nickname isn't necessarily bad, though. It's just kind of, it didn't really stick, but nevertheless, Triple H really able to work with Cena here in this match, and allowing them to put on a pretty decent match, kind of on the long side, about 22 minutes. And it's between this and Hogan and Warrior, which I already viewed. By the time this review goes up, that the Hogan Warrior at WrestleMania 6 review will be up. So if you haven't already, go check out that review. But two 20 plus minute matches, but similar to that one, this one doesn't feel super duper long. I guess one of the knocks I do have against it, and we'll get into a few more of those is it does feel long in the tooth at times, but otherwise, yeah, I think putting these two together, Triple H really helping Cena along in this match, in like Cena's first real like WrestleMania at least main event test. I think Triple H was a suitable opponent for Cena here. And kind of a spoiler for later on in the week. We are going to do the next review we're doing, and I guess by later on in the week, I mean later on today, as we're doing all three in one day. But at least of the WrestleMania reviews I have for the week, we're going to do John Cena versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 23, so we'll see how that fares against this one. But yeah, this one I'm pretty solid in that regard. Like I said, the knocks I have against it, kind of that, and kind of the closing sequence. Now, Cena doesn't win with the FU. It wasn't called the Attitude Adjustment just yet. It was still the FU. We are still in Ruthless Aggression era, but Cena instead wins with the STFU. But first of all, John Cena's STF is notoriously bad, so that's already kind of a knock against it. But also kind of a weird way they went about it at the end, with John Cena locking in the STFU on Triple H. And Triple H, they do like the spot where they raise a hand and then it drops, raise a hand, drop, and raise a hand, and then at the last second, and they're still in the fight, trying to power out of it. And they do that spot for Triple H, which is interesting because I have seen them do it for heels, but that's mainly like a babyface spot, I feel like. But nevertheless, they do it for Triple H, and he holds on, but then he's still in the hold, and like a few seconds later, he does end up tapping. And like, I'm not against Cena winning with the STFU. Terrible STF aside, but it was kind of weird how they went about it. And I get maybe what they were going for was kind of like the last gasp, especially because Triple H did try to reach for the ropes. He was locked in initially. He reached for the ropes, so this is the second time they ran back the STFU. Or I should say they ran it back. This was the second time they tried it, but you get what I mean. But this time Triple H tries to reach for the ropes, can't quite reach any taps. It was kind of weird how they had him do like the power out, and you think, oh, he's gonna power out of it and probably go from there and get out of the hole. Maybe Cena lock it in again. Maybe try hitting the FU this time. But no. Instead, Triple H does the hand thing, then ultimately taps out. So kind of the way they went about it was a bit strange. It was a little bit on the weird side. Don't know if I quite would have did that. I think probably just would have had Triple H tap out right now. If you want to have Triple H in the hold for a little bit before he taps, I think that's a little bit different, and I think that could have worked, but the way they went about it admittedly was a little bit strange. Maybe that's just me, maybe that's kind of a nitpick on my part, and I feel like it kind of is, but yeah, it was a little bit strange. But otherwise, I definitely would recommend this match if you are curious. But nevertheless, that is going to do it for this review. Don't know if I'm delving into WrestleMania 22 again for this year anyway. Hey, in terms of matches I do want to check out from WrestleMania 22, there are a couple more. And I also forgot about Edge and Mick Foley. That I think was one of like the first reviews I did as well. So, yeah, quite a bit from the WrestleMania 22 vault. I've almost completed the whole show at this point. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know quite a bit of rambling here on my part. I do apologize. But nevertheless, if you did enjoy this video, please do me a favor. Hit the like button and comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on those post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you never miss an upload. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the match, my review of the match. Do you like this match? Do you like my review of the match? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.